Hello, how are you today? Are you feeling good? I hope so. What have you been doing today? Have you been busy? I've got a story for you today called Stanley's Stick. Can you see him on the front? Goodness, that's such a big stick. I think it's even taller than him, look, all the way up over his head. There he is again. Can you see? Can you tell where he is? Look at the bottom, there's a clue here. Railway line. Stanley stands on Stockport station with his stick. Stanley always carries his stick with him. Stanley's stick was once part of something tall and grand, and it will never return. It was part of the tree, but it's not going to be part of the tree anymore. But it still can be a stick as best as it can. Stanley has a lot of stick activity, like pretending the stick is a whistle or a banana that is quite straight. You don't have to be great to be great. Like pretending the stick is a match to catch the world aflame. There is game after sticky game. Look, it's a dinosaur that isn't extinct. It's a Stickosaurus. Look, he's riding the Stickosaurus. Stanley has tried out some names for his stick, like Starry and Moon, but those names were all the wrong shape. For a while, he liked Stirry, but that's better for a spoon. Stanley's stick is good for writing in the sand, in languages only Stanley can understand. And 4 times now, he has used his stick to pick up slugs from pathway, platform and pavement, thus saving them from a fate worse than feet. Just in time, Stanley. Like, he rescued the slug before it got trodden on. Stanley's friend Bertie has some string, and sometimes they tie the string to the stick's end and go pretend fishing. Because the fish are pretend, no fish get hurt, said Bertie. Oh. So, here is Stanley, standing on the station, taking his stick for a short stay at the side of the sea with his mum and dad. The train pulls in. Down at the sea, Stanley goes to the side of the tide. His folks take stock of Stanley standing in the sand, stick in hand. What's he doing? What is he doing? Looks like he's having a think. Maybe the boy thinks it is time for the stick to be taken for someone else to enjoy. Stanley hurls his stick into the wide tide. Gosh, what a tiny splosh for something that has been so big in Stanley's days. Wasn't expecting him to do that. The sea picks up the stick and tucks it into itself. Stanley is stickless. The next morning, back at their spot on the beach, the tide is out. Stanley treads towards the spreading sea. Boats ride seaback on the distance. So not piggyback, they're riding seaback in the distance. Stanley decides to look for interesting sticks, for other sticks which have been carried twiggyback upon the turning tide. Ooh, do you think he's going to find another stick? Oh. Soon, he stumbles upon a stick alone on the shore. It's quite different from the stick he had before. It is wonky. That is an interesting stick. Look at that. The stick is an unusual saxophone. Stanley thinks of home and begins to blurt out a tune for Bertie. Now, Stanley stares at the sea through his stick telescope. It's wonky. And this stick Stanley knows the name of. It is called Fantastic. Stanley's Fantastic. This guy here, this is the author. He's the man who wrote the story. His name is John Hegley. And this man is the illustrator. He did the pictures and his name is Neil Layton. I'll show you the cover again. Stanley's stick. Stanley has a great imagination, doesn't he? All that playing with just a stick. I wonder what you can find in your garden or in your house that you can play with. It doesn't have to be a real thing. It doesn't have to be an actual dinosaur or an actual, what else did he have? I can't remember. He had a dinosaur. He had a whistle. He had a match. Best not play with matches, real ones. He had a banana. He made things up. If you use your imagination, you can do anything and you can go anywhere. I wonder where you're going today. See you soon. Bye.